This is not Mahindra's most affordable car. In fact, this particular car costs almost rupees 30 lakhs on road Mumbai, yet the Scorpio is Mahindra's top selling car. But how? I spent almost 1.5 years with this car to tell you why it's so popular. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you 4 pros and 4 cons of the Scorpio N. Starting with the first pro, which is the road presence. The Scorpio N is huge in size and has a towering presence, and it gives the gangster vibe in this black color. The rear design though wasn't appealing at first, but over time, it still hasn't grown on me. A bigger WagonR from the rear or what? The second pro is the engine. While the petrol is smooth and refined, it's a gas guzzler. But the diesel too is smooth and refined and thankfully not a gas guzzler. Okay, I do get single digit mileage numbers around 8 to 9 kilometers per liter, but drive it sedately and you can easily get double digit numbers. Now don't go by 6.1 kilometers per liter on the MID because that's not very accurate, because obviously the car was turned on with the air conditioning for a long duration of time. But yes, a big 2.2 liter diesel engine is obviously going to sip diesel. Yeah, it's thirsty. But wait, if I wanted to drive sedately, why would I get a Scorpio N? I would get the KUV. Because when you drive it aggressively, you are going to enjoy the performance of the Scorpio N. It's fast, hitting 0 to 100 km per hour in approximately 12 seconds, which is actually decently quick. Yeah, paddle shifters are missed here, they should be added. The third pro is the ride quality. This car's ride quality is very impressive, but at low speeds there's this choppiness and bounciness at the rear because this is a body on frame. However, because this is a ladder frame, it has this ruggedness towards it and it has this air of indestructibility too, because of which this SUV can take quite the beating. Yeah, vertical movements and all that can be felt here because you don't really avoid bumps, you intentionally go into them. Like that. So much fun. The fourth pro is the driving feel. The Scorpio N is heavy, but it is 500 kgs lighter than the Scorpio Classic, and somehow you don't feel the weight of this car at all. And it's heavy because of its ladder frame, which also gives it the feel. And that feel of driving this car is simply unmatched. You feel like the king of the road. More so because the Scorpio N is a rare real SUV in a world of fake SUVs that are just jacked up hatchbacks at best. Yes, Safari, I'm looking at you. The Scorpio N handles decently well for a car of its size. Yes, there is body roll. In fact, when you make quick maneuvers, you can feel that roll. Lot of vertical movement here, but the steering is actually quick and weighs up decently well at high speeds. But over this long-term test, there are certain things which haven't turned out to be as good as I expected. Starting with the first con, the electronics. The screens hang, and when I say screens, I mean both the instrument cluster and 8-inch infotainment screens, and it happens out of the blue. Like I unlock the car, turn on the engine and start driving, and the screens are yet to power up. Then there are issues with Apple CarPlay, as it disconnects randomly and the rear parking sensors throw up an error message on the cluster with a service reminder popping up every 5 seconds. Mahindra really needs to work on the reliability of the electronics. The second con are the lack of features. For a car of this price, I expect more kit. More so when a car from Mahindra's own portfolio costs less and offers a lot more. I am talking about the Thar ROXX, which is easily a couple of lakhs cheaper and comes with a bigger 10.25-inch infotainment system, front USB-C charging port, a bigger panoramic sunroof, level 2 ADAS, dedicated seat ventilation buttons, electric parking brake, blind spot monitoring system, and a 360-degree parking camera. The Thar ROXX also gets a fully digital instrument cluster, but I don't want Mahindra to change the instrument cluster of the Scorpio N because the analog dials are just wow. I love them. I also wonder how Mahindra will offer a bigger infotainment screen and panoramic sunroof in the Scorpio N, as that will require extensive modifications to the dashboard and roof respectively. The third con are the small but irritating things. Like the start-stop system can't be permanently turned off and has to be turned off every time you turn on the car. Not all the lights are LEDs, with some being halogen. The bonnet doesn't have gas struts, which the much older and cheaper Scorpio Classic has. Parking cameras have poor quality and don't occupy the full screen, even though this screen is itself small. The wireless charging pad is small and can't fit big phones. The menu of the MID in the instrument cluster is too cumbersome to browse through, and the seat tumble to access the last row only happens on the left side. The right side only folds, which means you need to get into the third row only from this side. And the brakes, they are a bit grabby, they are not progressive, and that's something you take some time to get used to. Panic braking does move the car quite a lot. The fourth con is the third row. It's neither here nor there. Space in the third row isn't enough for adults, and you can't slide the second row seats either. The third row also misses out on AC vents, charging ports and cup holders. But neither does this car have a big boot, as you can't remove the seat like in the Scorpio Classic. So neither can adults sit in the third row, nor can you load up luggage in the boot. And the last row seats don't get secured properly and tend to move around under heavy acceleration or braking. Mahindra should have given split seats in the third row, so at least there would have been some flexibility. And the center passenger, although he gets ahead, it's not flexible because it's not adjustable. At this price, that's a bit weird. Also, this side opening tailgate occupies a lot more space than a conventional boot door. Not the best in tight parking spots. So, if you want features, Mahindra has the XUV 700. But if you want features with ruggedness, they have the Thar Rock. So, who is this Scorpio N for? It's for those who really enjoy driving. My Scorpio N happens to have 4-wheel drive, which makes it capable off-road. But the departure angle isn't the best, although a 500 mm water wading capacity makes it suited to the worst of Indian monsoons. Mahindra will slowly add more features to the Scorpio N, rather than giving it one big update, like they did by adding ventilated seats and auto-dimming inside rear-view mirror late last year. The Scorpio N is the SUV I would recommend if you have a budget between Rs 20 to 30 lakhs, on-road obviously, because this car is fantastic to drive. It is fun and rugged, yet smooth and refined. This is indeed the Desi Fortuner. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel, and let me know which SUV should be subjected to my pros and cons next. Bye-bye.